Autumn comes abruptly to Brittany, with overnight temperatures dropping like clockwork right on September 1st, but then the golden days linger right through December, making this my favorite season in France. I've always loved the fall, and I associate it with fresh starts, new school supplies and blank notebooks, sharpened pencils, and bringing out my favorite sweaters while I transition from the lazier days of summer back to real life and getting her done, but then hunkering down with a good book at the end of the day. Today I'll be harvesting apples from my trees and then turning them into preserves, dried apples, and maybe some frozen ones if I have enough to carry the taste of summer over into winter. I'm going to try and do a bit of everything today. Make some apple jam, dry some apple rings, and freeze some bags for future cobblers and pies, simply because I have so many and they just keep falling out of the sky. There are more than 600 varieties of apple in Brittany alone. I have absolutely no idea what we have here, but careful research has shown me that these green ones are really tasty right off the tree, while the red ones are better cooked or preserved. I really know nothing about anything, but given that we're in Brittany, these are likely cider apples. A few episodes back, when I was exploring the barn, I ran across a giant barrel and confidently said that it must have been a barrel for wine. But if I had even two brain cells to rub together, I would have remembered that it's pretty cool in Brittany and it rains all the time. Plus, I have yet to see a single grapevine anywhere in my travels here. So, more likely, this was a barrel that was for cider rather than wine. So a big pot of water like this takes forever to boil. And it doesn't help that there's no lid, because I have a feeling the lid is somewhere between Canada and France. I don't remember where it is. I mean, there used to be a lid, but no lid now. Not the first thing that went missing somewhere over the Atlantic. Oh, oh. Ha ha! Plot twist. Look at that. Sometimes plan B of looking for it can actually be effective. So even with the lid, it is barely cooking, and I'm starting to be suspicious that maybe we're out of gas. That would explain the 3 hours waiting for the pot to boil. Well, it turns out we were out of gas. Luckily, we had a backup canister on hand and a husband on the premises who could talk me through hooking up the new one, because I had zero clue. I hope we're back on track now, and this batch of jam will be ready sometime before next spring. Although I have a limited repertoire, I really like canning and preserving, as it's a direct connection to fond childhood memories for me. I remember canning day, capital C, capital D, on my grandmother's farm back in Canada, which in my memory was a really huge event with steam and jars and fruit crowding her big country kitchen and jam bubbling like molten lava. She'd preserve peaches and cherries in big jars and then line them up on shelves in her dusty basement. And over the winter, after dinners at her big kitchen table, a grandchild would be sent down to the cellar to bring up some fruit to be served with her cow's cream for dessert, carrying the taste of summer into the fall and winter. Especially now that I'm away from home and so far from the life I knew and the people I knew, I'm finding these traditions hold more value in my life than I would have expected earlier on. I also find the action of laying in a stock of tasty food for the coming months comforting, knowing that should we get snowed in by a freak snowstorm, which has never happened to Brittany, then we will survive it because I have apple jam. Oh, 4 hours later, the jam is finally on the boil, and the dehydrating has done its 8 hours. That's how long I've been in the kitchen today. They look good. And they taste good. Thank goodness. Okay, moment of truth. Mm. Hmm. Yes, it worked. It worked. So generally, I'm not very good at kitchen things. I don't have much in my repertoire. So I don't mind saying that this is one thing I can do. I mean, granted, it's a recipe for idiots, so that's why it works for me. It's really just apples and sugar and cinnamon, bit of nutmeg. But that's the beauty of apples, that they're a standalone act. They really don't need much to taste amazing. I am going to be so grateful to have this in the dark, rainy mornings of January. All of the endless slicing and peeling and all the squats to have to collect it and climbing and prickles and everything is going to be so worth it when I bite into this and I get to taste autumn again. Mm. If it lasts until then. So I was telling a friend about my apple ring, apple drying adventures. See, isn't it pretty? It's so perfectly circular and flat. And she was saying that if I want them even crispier like chips, it works well to put them in the air fryer. So I'm going to throw a handful in and see if I can make chips out of them. Oh, geez. Okay. Bad idea. I had this, what I thought was a really brilliant idea to make, oh gosh, to make apple chips out of my dried apple rings and just throw them in the air fryer. But I guess this is why I'm not supposed to be in here unsupervised. I'm really glad no one's home. So I might be able to get most of the smoke out before I have to confess what I did. I'm not very good at staying on task. I think I'm a great multitasker, so I can set something up to cook and then leave. Apparently not. Oh boy. Oh, okay. I've got to figure out how to open the doors. Oh, this is quite dramatic. Oh, oh boy. This is just humiliating. I'm so glad no one's home. I don't think I'm going to be able to hide it when they get back here, though. Well, follow me for more kitchen tips. Oh, I'm crying. I don't know if it's out of stupidity or my eyes are burning from the smoke. Gosh, what a moron. Well, that was an eventful harvest day. I do like to keep it interesting for my viewers, so you're welcome. I did want to talk more about why we moved to France, and we did it for a disabled son because he wasn't able to get the health care and the social supports that he needed while he was in Canada, and he can get them here. So it was so worth the trip. We moved for family, but the cost was also family in that we left pretty much all of our loved ones behind. We left behind relationships and friendships that we'd been building for 40 years or more, all to start fresh in a country where we know almost no one. So it's for that reason that it's especially important to me to hold on to the traditions of my youth, of my family, my country, keep them alive here in France and carry them over so that I know that I'm still me. The same rhythms are happening. They're just happening in a different country. And it happens to be one with a lot of really good cheese. Well, mistakes were made today, and I think we can all agree that I've earned a cider and comfort book by the fire. Feel free to console me with tales of your own kitchen disasters in the comments. And if you enjoyed bearing witness to the carnage, please subscribe for more adventures. See you next week.